Hi, my name is Gabriela, and this is Meditations for Children and Their Adults channel. I created this space to help adults and children understand each other better and overcome challenges with more harmony. I'm a mother of 3 and I'm Brazilian. I hope you quickly get used to my accent. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and turn on notifications. These small actions helps my work a lot, as they tell YouTube that this video is interesting, making it available to more children and adults who might benefit from it. If you have a story idea or a challenge your children is facing, leave a comment. I'd love to create content especially for you. Now, get cozy and let's begin. Lie down comfortably in your bed. Grab your favorite stuffed animal and hold it tight. Feel your blanket covering you, keeping you warm just right, not too hot or too cold. Now, gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. That's it. Very good. Let's take 3 more breaths together. Breathe in and out. Like you're blowing a soft cloud in the sky. Breathe in and out, feeling your body getting more and more relaxed. Now, imagine we are traveling to a magical place, an enchanted forest where 7 special little friends live. They are baby animals, just like you, and they love to play and learn new things. There, nature sang softly to help everyone sleep peacefully. This is the story of Kashmir, a little jaguar who is curious and adventurous. She loves running through the forest, but she has had a habit since she was very small. Whenever she's deep in thought or wants to feel safe, she sucks her thumb. Tonight, we will discover how Kashmir found new ways to feel comfort and secure. So, relax, take another deep breath, and let's begin our adventure. Now that you are all cozy, let's relax your whole body, nice and slow. Close your eyes and imagine your body becoming light, like a cloud in the sky. First, relax your feet. Feel how calm and peaceful they are. Now, release your legs. They feel soft and weightless, as if they are floating. Now, focus on your belly. Feel it gently rise and fall with your breathing, rising and falling. Very good. Relax your arms now. Let them be loose and free of any weight. Now, your shoulders. They relax completely, releasing all tension. Finally, relax your face. Let your mouth rest. Loosen your forehead and let your eyes relax completely. Now, your whole body is calm and peaceful, ready to hear the story of Kashmir. Take another deep breath. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Now, let's the journey to the Enchanted Forest. The Enchanted Forest is quiet tonight. The sky is dark and filled with shining stars. The moon gently lights up the tall trees, swaying softly with the wind. The branches move as if they are whispering secrets to one another. Deep in this magical forest, between the trees, there is a special place. This is where 7 young friends live. Kashmir, the jaguar, Hunu, the wolf, Luna, the owl, Sasha, the chameleon, Lulu, the fox, Tao, the tiger, and Pipo, the panda. Each of them has a den or a nest, a cozy place where they feel safe and peaceful. Night has fallen and the little animals are getting ready for sleep. The wind blows gently, like a soft touch. The leaves in the trees make a quiet sound, almost like a lullaby. Everything is calm, everything is peaceful. But inside her den, Kashmir cannot sleep. She lies down, looking at the moon through a small gap in the leaves. Something is making her heart feel restless. Without even noticing, she puts her thumb in her mouth as she thinks. What is bothering Kashmir tonight? Kashmir was still lying down, staring at the moon, when she heard a soft sound near the entrance of her den. It was her mother, a large and elegant jaguar, with wise and gentle eyes. She stepped in quietly and lay down beside her daughter. "Still awake, my little one?" her mother asked in a calm voice. Kashmir sighed and shrugged. Without even noticing, she put her thumb in her mouth again. Her mother watched for a moment and smiled warmly. "Have you noticed that you still suck your thumb when you're thinking?" she asked gently. Kashmir looked at her mother and quickly pulled her thumb out of her mouth. "I think it makes me feel safe," she whispered. Her mother softly ran her paw over Kashmir's head. "I understand," she said. "But did you know there are other ways to feel safe and calm? You are a jaguar, Kashmir, and jaguars are strong, brave, and independent. You are already much stronger than you think." Kashmir stayed quiet, thinking about her mother's words. Kashmir lay there, thinking about what her mother had said. Was she really strong? She had never thought about it before. She looked at her paws and slowly wiggled her toes. They seemed so small compared to her mother's big, firm paws. Would they ever be as strong as hers? Outside, the forest was peaceful. The wind blew softly, and the sounds of the night filled the air. Kashmir sighed and closed her eyes for a moment. But without even noticing, her thumb went back into her mouth. It was so natural to her, so comforting, like an invisible hug, something that always made her feel safe. Would she really be able to stop? She opened her eyes and looked at her mother, who was still there beside her. "Mom, did you ever had something that made you feel safe, like my thumb does for me?" Her mother smiled and looked up at the sky. "Yes, my dear. When I was little, I had my own special way of feeling safe." Kashmir's mother looked at her with a gentle smile. "When I was little, I used to wrap my tail around myself whenever I wanted to feel safe. It was like a hug, a way to protect myself from the world around me." Kashmir imagined her mother as a cub, curling up with her tail like a blanket. "And one day, did you stop?" she asked curiously. "Yes," her mother replied. "Over time, I realized that my strength wasn't in my tail, but inside me." Kashmir stayed quiet. She wanted to believe that, but she wasn't sure if she could stop sucking her thumb. Her mother gave her a gentle kiss on the head. "You don't have to decide anything now, my dear. Just think about it. Your strength is already inside you, even if you don't see it yet." Then her mother stood up and left the den, leaving Kashmir alone with her thoughts. The little jaguar sighed and decided to go for a walk. Maybe if she wandered through the forest, she would understand better what her mother meant. Kashmir walked slowly through the forest. The ground was cool beneath her paws, and the night air was soft and fragrant. The leaves whispered in the wind, and the crickets chirped gently. She kept thinking about her mother's words. Was there really strength inside her? Would she ever be able to stop sucking her thumb? As she walked, she heard a familiar sound. It was Uno, the little wolf, playing with a dry branch. He jumped from side to side, having fun by himself. When he saw Kashmir, Uno wagged his tail and ran toward her. "Hey, Kashmir, what are you doing up so late?" Kashmir sighed and sat down next to him. "I can't sleep. I'm thinking about something." Uno tilted his head, curious. "About what?" Kashmir hesitated for a moment, and without realizing it, put her thumb in her mouth. Uno watched and frowned slightly. "Do you always do that when you're thinking?" The little jaguar quickly pulled her thumb out and looked at Uno, unsure of what to say. Kashmir felt her face warm up. She had never really thought about it before. I guess so," she answered softly. Uno lay down on the grass beside her, looking up at the sky. "My older brother used to bite his nails when he was nervous," he said, until one day he realized it and decided to stop. Kashmir frowned. And did he manage to stop? Yes. At first it was hard, but he found other ways to calm himself. Now, when he feels anxious, he takes a deep breath and counts to 3. The little jaguar stayed quiet. She had never tried doing anything else when she felt the urge to suck her thumb. Was there another way to feel safe? She looked at her paws, then at Uni. I never thought about that before, she said. I don't even know if I could do it. Uno smiled. Maybe you just need to find what works for you. His words echoed in Kashmir's mind. Kashmir and Uno kept walking through the forest under the moonlight. The air was cool, and the tree branches cast soft shadows on the ground. Suddenly, the quiet night was interrupted by the sound of wings. Kashmir looked up and saw Luna the owl landing on a nearby branch. Her large eyes gleamed sharp and observant. What are you two doing awake so late? Luna asked, tilting her head. Kashmir is thinking about something important, Uno explained. The owl flapped her wings gently and studied Kashmir with curiosity. Would you like to tell me about it? Luna asked in a calm voice. Kashmir hesitated for a moment, then said, My mom says I'm strong, but I don't know if I really am. Whenever I feel unsure, I suck my thumb. I've done it since I was little. Luna blinked slowly and smiled. We all have something that makes us feel safe, she said. But sometimes, as we grow, we realize that we can find that safety inside ourselves. Kashmir frowned. How? Luna smiled mysteriously. Come with me. I think I can help. Luna spread her wings and flew low, guiding Kashmir and Uno through a narrow path between the trees. The little jaguar smelled the fresh earth and listened to the gentle sounds of the nighttime forest. After a few minutes, they arrived at a special place. In front of them, a calm river flowed, its waters shining like silver under the moonlight. This is the river of memories, Luna said, landing on a rock. It reflects what we hold inside ourselves. Kashmir stepped closer to the riverbank and looked into the clear water. At first, she saw only the reflections of the moon and stars. But as she focused, images began to appear on the surface. She saw herself as a tiny cub, curled up next to her mother, sucking her thumb to fall asleep. Then another memory. She was hiding behind the tree trunk, scared of a thunderstorm. Again, her thumb was in her mouth. Kashmir blinked, surprised. The river is showing me moments when I suck my thumb. Luna nodded. It shows when and why we create certain habits. Do you remember how you felt in those moments? Kashmir stayed silent, watching the image shimmer in the water. As Kashmir watched the river, trying to understand the images, a soft voice came from behind the rock. Hey friends, what are you doing here so late? It was Sasha, the chameleon. Their skin changed color as they walked over the moonlit stone. They stepped closer, curiously observing Kashmir's reflections in the water. We're trying to understand why I suck my thumb, Kashmir explained. Sasha blinked and smiled. Ah, that's connected to emotions. And emotions have colors. Kashmir frowned. Colors? Sasha climbed onto a leaf, and suddenly their skin turned light blue. Blue can be calm, they said. Then, blue can be calm, they said. Then they turned yellow. Yellow can be happiness. They kept changing, green, red, purple. Our emotions shift like my colors. Do you remember what color you felt when you sucked your thumb? Kashmir looked at the river and saw her memories again. I think it was gray, like a cloudy day. Sasha smiled. Then let's find new colors for you to feel. Kashmir looked at Sasha, deep in thought. What would it feel like to experience new colors? Suddenly, a gentle breeze moved through the trees, making the leaves dance high above. The wind seemed to whisper words she couldn't quite understand, yet they filled her with a sense of calm. She closed her eyes and listened closely. The rustling leaves blended with the murmuring river and the soft chirping of crickets. Everything felt connected. The forest is speaking to you, Luna said. If you listen with your heart, you may feel new emotions inside you. Kashmir kept her eyes closed, breathing slowly. She tried to imagine the color of the wind. Maybe a soft blue, like the sky at dawn. Her body felt lighter, and for a moment the urge to suck her thumb disappeared. She opened her eyes, surprised. I think I felt a different kind of blue, she whispered. Sasha smiled. You're discovering a new way to feel safe. Kashmir looked at her paws and realized that, for the first time, she didn't need her thumb to feel calm. Kashmir was still looking at her paws when she heard light footsteps on the grass. What are you doing here without me? Said a cheerful voice. It was Lulu the fox. She approached with her bright, curious eyes, her tail swishing from side to side. You're helping Kashmir find new ways to feel safe, Sasha explained. Lulu's eyes widened and she grinned. That sounds like a game. I love games. Kashmir looked at her, puzzled. A game? Yes, Lulu said excitedly. Let's do a challenge. For a little while, you can't suck your thumb. But every time you feel like doing it, you have to try something else instead. Kashmir frowned. Like what? Lulu jumped up. You can squeeze your paws, take a deep breath, give yourself a hug. Let's find out what works best for you. Kashmir hesitated, then took a deep breath and nodded. Okay, I accept the challenge. Lulu jumped excitedly and pointed at a fallen tree trunk, forming a bridge over the river. Here's your first challenge. You have to cross this bridge without sucking your thumb, she said, her eyes sparkling. Kashmir looked at the trunk. It was sturdy but a little narrow. The river below shimmered, flowing silently. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. The trunk wobbled slightly, and her heart raced. Instinctively, she brought her thumb to her mouth. But then she remembered the challenge. Take a deep breath, Sasha said, turning a calm light blue. Kashmir stopped, closed her eyes, and filled her lungs with air. Then she exhaled slowly. Her body relaxed a little. She opened her eyes and took another step, then another. Little by little, she felt more confident. When she reached the other side, Lulu clapped her paws. "You did it!" Kashmir smiled, surprised. "I did that without sucking my thumb." Luna blinked with satisfaction. "The safety you're looking for is already inside you." After crossing the bridge, Kashmir felt her heartbeat slow down. She was surprised at herself. "Did you see that?" Lulu said excitedly. "You calmed yourself down without sucking your thumb." Kashmir smiled, but deep inside, she still felt a small emptiness. Something was still missing. That's when a gentle voice caught her attention. "What a fun challenge! Can I join too?" It was Pippo, the panda. He was sitting under a tree, his eyes calm and kind. "I love hugs," Pippo said, opening his arms. "Whenever I feel nervous or unsure, I hug myself tightly. It helps me remember that I'm safe." Kashmir watched as Pippo wrapped his arms around himself. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, looking completely at peace. "Want to try?" he asked. Kashmir hesitated, then crossed her arms over her chest and squeezed gently. To her surprise, a warm feeling spread through her body. She took a deep breath and felt something new, safety becoming from inside her. People smiled. "The hug will always be there because it comes from within you." Kashmir was still feeling the warmth of the hug when she heard strong footsteps in the forest. "What's going on here?" asked a powerful voice. It was Tao the tiger. His eyes gleamed under the moonlight, and he stood with confidence. "Kashmir is learning new ways to feel safe," Uno explained. Tao smiled. "That's great. Have you ever tried roaring really loud?" Kashmir frowned. "Roaring?" Tao nodded. "When I feel unsure or afraid, I let out a big roar. It makes my chest vibrate, my body feel bigger, and reminds me that I'm strong. Want to try?" Kashmir hesitated. She had never really roared before. Tao took a deep breath and let out a powerful roar. His voice echoed through the forest. "Now you," he encouraged. Kashmir took a deep breath and tried. At first, it was a tiny sound, almost like a meow. But Tao smiled. Again, louder. Kashmir tried once more, and this time her roar came out stronger. She grinned. It was fun. Tao blinked. "And it's powerful too. Your roar is your voice telling the world that you are strong." After roaring with Tao, Kashmir felt something new inside her. It was as if her strength was slowly waking up. She looked at her paws and realized that all this time she hadn't her thumb in her mouth. Sasha, who had been watching, smiled. "You know, Kashmir, our bodies have amazing ways to help us feel safe. Have you ever tried rubbing your paws together?" Kashmir frowned. "Rubbing my paws?" Sasha nodded. "Yes. When we rub our hands or paws, we create warm, and comforting feeling. Try it. Kashmir pressed her paws together and started rubbing them slowly. At first, it feels strange, but soon a gentle warmth spread through her fingers. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. It felt a little like when she sucked her thumb, but this time she was creating the comfort herself. She opened her eyes and smiled. That feels nice. Luna nodded. Small gestures can bring us security, and you're discovering yours. Kashmir walked to the edge of the river and looked into the calm water. The surface reflected the moon and stars, but as she leaned closer, she saw her own face. She blinked, studying herself carefully. She was still a small jaguar cub, curious and fun of question. But then something changed. The water rippled slightly, and for a moment Kashmir saw a different image. In the reflection, an adult jaguar looked back at her, strong, confident, with shining eyes. She seemed wise and sure of herself. Kashmir's eyes widened. "Who's that?" she whispered. Luna landed beside her. "That's you in the future," the owl said gently. "A jaguar who has learned to trust herself." Kashmir felt a warm sensation spread through her chest. She looked so strong. "That's because you already are," Luna replied. "You're just starting to see it." Kashmir took a deep breath, feeling a new certainty inside her. Maybe her mother had been right all along. The strength was already inside her. Kashmir kept looking at the river, feeling a warm glow in her chest from the image of her growing up self. Something inside her was changing, but it still felt like a distant dream. Suddenly, a bright streak cut across the sky. "Look!" Uno said, pointing up. It was a shooting star, leaving a golden trail against the dark night. "Make a wish," Sasha said excitedly. Kashmir closed her eyes and pressed her paws together. She thought about everything she had learned that night, the new ways to feel safe, the friends who had helped her. Then she made her wish. "I want to feel strong. I want to trust myself." When she opened her eyes, the star had vanished, but a feeling of calm remained in her chest. People smiled. "I think your wish is already coming true." Kashmir smiled back. She didn't know if the star would really grant her wish, but deep inside she felt that she was already on the right path. Maybe she was stronger than she ever imagined. The night was quiet, and the feeling of peace still surrounded Kashmir. She looked down at her paws and realized something. All this time, since the bridge, the hug, the roar, shooting star, she hadn't sucked her thumb even once. Her eyes widened. I did it!" Lulu wagged her tail, smiling. "You did it!" Kashmir's heart beat faster. So many times she had thought she could never stop, that she would always need her thumb to feel safe. But now, for the first time, she felt okay without it. She lifted her paws and looked at her own fingers. Then, slowly, she brought her paw up to her face, as if to put her thumb in her mouth. But instead, she smiled. "I don't think I need it anymore." she said, surprised by her own words. Tao stomped his paw on the ground, proud. The strength was inside you all along. You just had to find it. Kashmir took a deep breath. For the first time, she truly believed that her mother had been right. She was so strong. And soon as Kashmir smiled, all of her friends jumped with excitement around her. "You did it!" Yunus shouted, running in circles. "I knew you were strong," Tao said, stomping his paw. Lulu twirled in the air and landed gracefully. "And you did it on your way!" People stepped forward and gave Kashmir a big warm hug. "I'm so proud of you." The little jaguar looked at her friends, her heart full of happiness. She had always thought she needed her thumb to feel safe, but tonight she realized that her strength didn't come from a habit. It came from inside her. Sasha turned it into a bright golden color. "I think we just found a new color for you, Kashmir." She nodded, feeling lighter than ever. "I think so too." Luna landed beside her and blinked. "And you know what's even more beautiful? Now, whenever you need it, you can remember this moment and feel that strength again." Kashmir nodded. Yes, she knew she could. The moon was already high in the sky when Kashmir realized it was time to go home. Her friends walked with her to the entrance of her den, where her mother was waiting. Her mother looked at her with warm eyes. "You had quite an adventure tonight, did you?" she said with a gentle smile. Kashmir ran up to her mother and rubbed her head against her chest. "Yes, Mama, I learned so many things." Her mother wrapped her in a comforting hug. "And what did you discover, my little one?" Kashmir lifted her head and smiled. "That I'm strong, that I don't need my thumb to feel safe." Her mother smiled proudly. "I always knew that." Kashmir looked down her paws, then up at the starry sky. "I promise that whenever I feel scared or unsure, I will remember everything I learned today." Her mother kissed her gently on the forehead. "And I will always be here to remind you." Kashmir closed her eyes, feeling safer than ever. Kashmir's mother looked at her with tenderness. Her eyes shimmered under the moonlight, reflecting the pride she felt. "My little Kashmir," she said softly, "I always knew you were strong, but today you discovered it for yourself." Kashmir felt warmth fill her heart. "At first, I thought I would never be able to do it, but now I feel like the strength was always inside me." Her mother smiled and gently ran her paw over Kashmir's head. "True strength isn't in the size of your body, but in the courage of the heart. And today you showed that your heart is strong." Kashmir smiled, feeling happy and light. "I feel different, Mama. Like something inside me has changed." Her mother pulled her into a warm embrace. "What change is that now you believe in yourself?" Kashmir closed her eyes and nestled into her mother's soft fur. Yes, now she knew she could trust in her own strength. Kashmir let out a soft yawn. The night had been long and full of discoveries, and now her body was starting to feel the weight of sleepiness. She looked around the forest. Everything was peaceful. The wind blew gently, making the leaves sway with a soothing whisper. The river flowed silently, reflecting the glow of the stars. Her mother stood up. "Come, my little one, it's time to rest." Kashmir followed her mother, walking slowly along the path that led to their den. With each step, she felt her body growing lighter, as if the forest itself was rocking her into sleep. The crickets chirped softly like a quiet lullaby. The moon seemed to smile down at her from the sky. As she reached home, Kashmir took one last look at the forest. She knew that whenever she needed, nature would always be there to remind her of her strength. She took a deep breath and smiled. Now she was ready to sleep. Kashmir curled up in her den, feeling the warmth of the earth beneath her body. Her mother lay beside her, breathing slowly and deeply. "Now, my little one, let's breathe together," her mother said. "Take a slow breath in and let it out gently." Kashmir closed her eyes and followed her mother's rhythm, breathing in and breathing out. "Imagine you are a leaf floating on the river," her mother continued, rising and falling gently with the current. Kashmir felt her body relax more with each breath. "Now, count with me," her mother whispered. "Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. And breathe out, 1, 2, 3. The little jaguar repeated this rhythm a few times, noticing how her body felt lighter, calmer. The wind blew softly outside, and she imagined it cradling her gently. She took one last deep breath and yawned. She was ready to rest. As Kashmir breathed peacefully, a gentle wind swept through the forest. It danced between the trees, rustling the leaves as if whispering a lullaby. The little jaguar felt the breeze caress her fur like a soft and comforting embrace. She listened to the branches swaying slowly, moving with the rhythm of the night. The river murmured quietly, its waters gliding smoothly over the stone. Everything in the forest seemed to be settling to sleep. The birds in their nests tucked their heads under the soft wings. The little insects hushed their songs, leaving only a delicate hum in the air. Kashmir yawned, feeling wrapped in nature's embrace. The wind blew gently once more, as if whispering, "It's time to rest." The little jaguar sighed and curled up deeper in her den, feeling safe and warm. Everything was so calm. Everything was so peaceful. Kashmir was almost asleep when she heard a soft sound in the air. It was a gentle melody coming from somewhere in the forest. She opened her eyes for a moment and saw the moon shining in the sky, surrounded by thousands of twinkling stars. The silver light covered the forest like a glowing blanket, and the music seemed to come from the sky itself. Maybe it was the wind whispering through the leaves. Maybe it was the river gliding softly over the stones. Or maybe it was simply the forest singing its lullaby. Kashmir sighed and closed her eyes again. The melody was soothing and warm, like an invisible hug. She imagined that each star in the sky was singing a different note, and together they created the most beautiful music she had ever heard. Her body was completely relaxed. Breathing was slow and peaceful. The moon kept shining, watching over her sleep, and the song of the night cradled her rest. Kashmir's mother looked at her little daughter, curled up in their den, and smiled tenderly. Kashmir breathed peacefully, her body rising and falling gently with each breath. Softly, her mother ran her paw over her head, giving her a gentle stroke. "Sleep well, my little one," she whispered. "You're strong, you're safe, and I will always be here." The moon continued to shine in the sky, casting its silver glow over the sleeping forest. The wind blew softly, carrying the scent of trees and flowers. Everything was quiet and peaceful. In her sleep, Kashmir sighed, feeling protected, loved, and calm. Her mother lay down beside her, her warm and comforting body wrapped around her like an invisible hug. And so, crowded by the love and peace of the night, Kashmir drifted into deep rest. "Good night, little Kashmir. Sleep well." The night wrapped the entire forest in a silent embrace. The wind blew gently through the trees, rocking every leaf, every branch, every flower. Kashmir slept peacefully, breathing slowly. Her body was completely relaxed, surrounded to deep rest. And now, you too can feel this calm within you. Feel your body sinking softly into your bed, completely loose and light. Notice your breath, how it moves slowly, filling your chest with fresh air before gently flowing out. With each inhale, your body relaxed a little more. In each exhale, you feel calmer and calmer. Now, imagine that you two are in the forest. The wind touches your skin, bringing a warm, comforting feeling. The river murmurs softly, like a soothing song. And the moon shines in the sky, lighting everything with its silver glow. You are safe, you are protected. Now it's time to drift into deep sleep. Simply relax and let sleep come. The forest is quiet now. The trees stand still, rocked by the gentle wind. The river flows peacefully, whispering its soft melody. The moon watches over everything, shining like a silver beacon. And you are safe. You are protected. Now let your body rest completely. Feel comfortable, ready to surrender, to sleep, just like Kashmir curled up in her den. Your arms are relaxed, your legs are loose, your whole body is light and calm. Take one last deep breath, very slowly and gentle let it go. Now simply sleep, sleep peacefully. May your night be sweet, light, and restful. May your dreams be as beautiful as the moonlight reflecting on the river. The forest is still here, watching over you. You can sleep in peace. Good night and have beautiful dreams.